Hey guys, let's talk about boredom. Now perhaps that 3-second pause was excruciating for you. And if it was, I'm here to tell you that perhaps you are being negatively impacted by our continuous access to modern technology. It's teaching us that boredom is something that we should be scared of. But what I want to do in the video today is show you guys that boredom is actually a good thing. Through boredom, you are more creative. Through boredom, you have better conversations with people. And through boredom, you stop to smell the grass, smell the roses, and perhaps enjoy life a little better. So first, and I know I've been ranting about this a lot in my videos lately, let's just hit social media just for a minute, because I dare you to go to a grocery store and stand in line and look for somebody who's not looking down at their phone with their thumb doing this. In these days, at least that what I've seen, I cannot go to a grocery store and stand there just looking around and seeing other people just in their own head, just daydreaming. No, because everybody needs that continuous stimulation. They need to know what their friends are doing. They need to know what the newest crazy news article is. And I think that we are forgetting how happy you can be when you don't know those things. Like, yes, so some big prime minister died in another country. I don't know what happens. So you don't need to know that. I remove myself from all social media, don't have a TV, don't have internet at home, and I don't miss out on the really important things. Like, if it's really, really important, you're going to find out when you go to work or talk to family members, because they're going to be like, oh, have you heard about this? I think that it's a fantastic filter, because you're not trying to figure out what to consume, or you're not trying to figure out what not to consume when you're on your phone. And that's the most important thing today. Now we have so much information that you have to know what you don't need to know. But let's move on to the next part of this discussion about boredom. Perhaps right now you're thinking, this video sucks. I'm going to move along. But that is part of the problem. We can't have a conversation these days unless it's the most exciting thing that you want to talk about. So say you meet somebody new and you have this story that you tell everybody who's new, because you want to excite them and you want to show them how cool you are, and you have this small 5-second window to impress them. So you have this one story that you circulate through everybody that you meet. But that keeps our conversations so shallow. I know for me, it's always, hey, I run a YouTube channel. How cool is that, right? But it's the same thing for every person. Only when you are willing to endure long moments of being bored in a conversation, listening to things that perhaps you're not very interested in, that's the only time where you can really gain new knowledge, something that might change you. I know, for example, I was on a big tree camping trip with one of my very good friends, Justin. We were just hanging out in the tree canopy all night long. I couldn't even see him. He was in his hammock like 10 feet above me, and we were both like 50 feet up in the air. And we just spent the whole night just talking. One person would go on, the other person would just sit and listen, and then we'd switch roles, and we'd just talk about whatever popped up in our heads. And I learned so much. There was a lot that I didn't really care about that we talked about, but there was also a lot of things that if we had just stuck to the really cool, extreme, canned stories that we always talk about, we would have never learned anything, because we would have been so busy trying to impress each other. Instead, we just let our minds kind of float, and it was a fantastic night. And that's something that I have such a hard time doing these days, because everybody's so used to being continuously connected, having having their instant messenger and Facebook or Reddit. I don't know all of these things that people use today, but they are stealing your ability to handle boredom to get to the more important things. And this brings me to the third point that I wanted to make in this video. When I'm driving my car long distances, whether it's to work or to visit my family out of state, I don't listen to the radio. I just sit in silence and I think, I contemplate, because that's really the only time that I can come up with new ideas or think of new, weird, crazy things that I want to try. And I know if I didn't do this, I would have never started this weird YouTube channel. I would have never thought of the idea to go tree camping. I would have never thought of the idea to build portal edges or do all of the weird fun activities that I do with my son. And that's sad to think about. It's sad to think that perhaps other people aren't even aware that being bored can lead to a more exciting life, because you take a moment to just think and be mindful of the moment and contemplate weird things that you would have never thought of if you were scrolling through your Facebook feed or watching other people's YouTube videos. So that's a good reason to just get out, just turn off this video right now and get off YouTube and just go sit outside and think and contemplate. Be mindful. You don't even have to think of something to do. You can just be in the moment, listen to the birds. There's a lot of science out there that says living in the moment, even for 10 minutes during your day, can relieve stress and help you think throughout the rest of your day. Now, if you guys made it this far into the video, I'm sure you've experienced a few moments of boredom, but I hope it was worth it, because I hope you learned a few things too. Not all of the stuff that I've been talking about are, of course, my own thoughts. They're things that I've learned in books or from podcasts, and I wanted to relay them to you guys because these are things that I wouldn't have learned had somebody not taken the time out of their day to explain them to me. Man, that's all I got to say, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Get off the internet and go outside. Bye, guys.